I've been seeing so much just talk and opinion shared on this and that, and musicians are this, and this pastor is this, and I've been seeing musicians getting dogged out and pastors getting dogged out, and who should get paid, who shouldn't get paid, and this and that, and you are a servant, and this and I mean just all the kind of different things. And I just want to share my little 2 cents. Number one, I believe that if a pastor and his board or whatever, if they decide that they do not want to pay the musicians, then that's their prerogative. That's the pastor and the people in charge of the church. If that's what they don't want to do or want to do, then it is what it is. Now, if I attend there, if it bothers me that much, or if I feel like they are not lining up with the word of God, and it just disturbs my spirit, then I can leave. No church is holding me hostage. But I just feel like, again, if a pastor and his board or council, if they decide that they don't want to pay musicians, that's their right. That's their prerogative. You either deal with it or leave. That's how I feel. Number two, I feel like it's ridiculous if you have 20, 25 members and you don't even have your own church, but you're struggling to make payments because you're trying so hard to keep up the music staff. You got a 6-piece band with 20 members in the church. You got, and I love music. I'm a musician myself. But at some point, you got to look at priorities and stuff. Like, what's more important? You want to have the best band, and none of these people are members of the church, so they coming in late, leaving early. So you paying for all of them. Is that more important, or is it more important to finally get your own place where you can stop renting out another place and you can have your own place where you all can worship and have Bible study and all that kind of stuff? You got to prioritize. And if you don't have the money to pay for musicians and do all that, that's totally okay. There's no shame in that. There's no guilt in that. The problem is you have to be open and honest about it on the front end. I'm going somewhere. Stay with me. I'm preaching right now. What happens is, and a lot of times musicians get dogged out when they leave. Musicians get called all kind of names. They just greedy. They just money hungry, such and such. But a lot of times people don't understand that there were already agreements in place. So you see a musician, he's gone now, and he went to another church. Like, he ain't saved. He don't love the Lord for real. He don't really love him. And it has nothing to do with that. You don't understand the fact that at first the pastor and the musician had an agreement. And now the pastor has changed the agreement. So now that the agreement has changed, the musician's got to make some different kind of decisions, And that's that musician's prerogative. And you can say, well, he's just all about, well, the musician, if that person is a musician, if that's what they do, then they have bills just like everybody else. They got a Netflix bill. How am I going to watch A Fall from Grace? How am I going to see Tyler Perry's movie if I can't pay my Netflix bill? You see what I'm saying? See, all that kind of stuff. You got to think about that kind of stuff. So again, if you don't have the money to pay musicians, it's fine. The problem is a lot of folks are not upfront and honest about it. And then that's when stuff gets messy. If you don't want to pay musicians, that's fine. But you got to be upfront and honest about it. Don't get me there. Don't have me leave my church. I was fine in my church. I was minding my business. But you said, hey, come to my church. I'm going to give you such and such, blah, blah, blah. God is moving here. And I left and I went to your church. And now here you are 6 months later saying, hey, I changed my mind. I don't want to. Well, wait a minute. What about my Netflix bill? I'm trying to watch the Tyler Perry movie. You see what I'm saying? So you just have to be upfront and you have to be transparent and honest, and let the musicians decide if they, hey, I would love to have you guys, but I don't have the money right now. So, and that's honest. That, you know what I'm saying? You just got to be upfront and honest. That's it. Number 3, if you play at a church for free, the church doesn't pay you anything, and you still are faithful at rehearsals, you still come and you play the piano for service, that's a blessing. That's awesome. But don't down the people that do get paid. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen it. You have people who are like, I don't get paid in my church, because I love the Lord. It's like, wait a minute, I can't love the Lord because I'm getting something. Wait a minute, and don't do that. And if the truth be told, because a lot of people don't like to talk like this. Now let me say this first, because I know some extremely capable killer musicians that could be touring, that could be making a ton of money, but they just choose not to. They have a full-time job doing something else, and they just serve at their church faithfully without getting paid. That's a blessing. But some people that brag and boast about the fact that they don't get paid because they love the Lord so much, be honest. You don't get paid because your church ain't trying to pay you. Your church, if the church had the money to pay you, they wouldn't offer to pay you, because you only know a couple chords. You only play in C. You can't even work the transpose button right. So don't stop dogging out the band for getting paid. You don't even know how to work the transpose button right. Whew, you got me fired up. And again, a lot of times we see musicians doing things and we dog them out, and you wonder why. Like, man, why are they going off like this? Or why are they like this? They act like they got it so bad. And a lot of times you don't know what they've been through and how they've been exploited, how they've been played, taken advantage of in the past. I'll use me for example, and this is not a true story. This is just an example story. Let's say I'm serving at a church. I'm serving there faithfully. And then I don't get paid, but I'm teaching the songs, I'm playing and everything. And I finally come to the pastor and I say, hey, pastor, you think we can work out a way I can get paid? And the pastor says, I appreciate what you do, but at this time, we don't have the finances to do that. Okay? That's the pastor being honest. So, and if that's my home church, and it's like, okay, pastor, I'm still going to serve because I love God. I love God. I'm using my gift for him, giving it back to him. And I trust you. I trust the vision of this house, all this kind of stuff. So cool. Everything is cool, right? But then a month later, I go to the pastor's office and I see them installing a Louis Vuitton microwave in the pastor's office. A Louis Vuitton microwave? I didn't even know Louis Vuitton had microwaves, Pastor. How much did that cost? I thought you said we didn't have no money. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's what ends up happening a whole lot of times. You tell musicians stuff, but musicians aren't blind. They aren't dummies. And you just start looking around. A lot of pastors and musicians, y'all don't really have any relationship. And you don't have any relationship because there's no communication. Y'all just work together. I just hired you. You come play for me. Put that string patch on so it can sound real deep what I'm saying. I'm trying to make the people cry. Come on, put it on strings. Relationship, that changes. And how do you establish relationship? By communicating. And it doesn't have to be deep. I ain't saying you and the pastor got to go bowling, but it's like little stuff like saying hello. Or like, and it goes both ways. Musicians a lot of times like, man, the pastor don't ever say we did a good job. He don't say, well, it goes both ways. If you enjoyed the word, if you got something out of the sermon, you can go to the pastor and say, hey, man, that was a great word. Evangelist, man, I enjoyed that word, sister. That blessed me big time. I mean, it's nothing wrong. And like little stuff like that, little communication like that, then you guys kind of start forming relationship. And it's a beautiful thing. And last but not least, this is my last thing because this is going way too long. and this is for musicians, especially musicians, worship leaders, singers. If you feel like you've been disrespected, taken advantage of, not appreciated at a church, I I know your pain. I know it hurts. I know you're angry. I know you feel like they did you wrong. Excuse me. Don't go on social media blasting them. Don't be, gossiping and trying to tear them down. And trust me, I understand. Like sometimes it's like you just want to get them back, or it's just like I just need folks to know the real him. I just need folks to know the real her. You don't know what he did to me. Y'all need to know the truth, but don't do it. Shut your mouth. And I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard, and it can be even harder when you see them and it seems like they're doing well, and you're like, "Whoa, I should say something." But no, shut your mouth, because you're messing up your harvest, being messy. And they very well may have done you wrong. They very well may have hurt you. But don't mess up your harvest. Cause now you sowing messy seeds. You see what I'm saying? Don't do it. I know it's tempting. And let me tell you, when you leave, or if you've left, you're gonna have people that come to you and they want to encourage you to be messy. And they start asking you questions because they want you to be messy. They want you to say something bad. They want to gossip and all that. Don't fall for it. Don't do it. If you say anything, just say good stuff. And they be like, what? What's wrong? Just do it. Cause don't mess up your harvest. Don't sow them messy seeds. So, like I say, just keep your mouth shut. I know it's hard. And then honestly, when you keep your mouth shut, what ends up happening is, like the more you look back, I just chalk it up as a learning, something you learn from, a learning experience. And then when you really look back and you start maturing, you kind of start seeing faults in yourself. Because we always want to play the victim, but then after, when you look back, you're like, okay, well, I don't like that they did this, but I probably shouldn't have done this, or I probably could have done this. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we don't really see that perspective until like days, months, even years later. So that's why it's important to keep your mouth shut. Because you're emotional, you're angry, you're mad, you feel some kind of way. Just keep your mouth shut. And I trust me, I understand. Because sometimes you like, okay, Bible says, hold my peace, let the Lord fight my battles. Why you ain't did nothing to them yet, Lord? When you gonna hurt them? They hurt me. When you gonna hurt them, Lord? But even with that, how many times have we done stuff to people and God didn't give us what we deserved? He showed us mercy. You see what I'm saying? So just chalk it up as a learning experience, and just keep going. You gonna be fine regardless. God's got you. But when you start talking and when you start posting and saying all that kind of stuff, don't fall for it. Don't mess up your harvest. Don't do it. Whew. Lord have mercy. This was a long video. I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I know that was a whole lot more than 2 cents. That was like about $7.22. But